If you remember, last week was part 1 of me explaining the way in which I manage my Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. In that, I promised that I would share the various types of physiotherapy and exercise I do to help me manage my EDS. So here's part 2. Please remember that I am not a medical professional. I am sharing what I have learned and experienced myself for my issues with hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. I always urge you all to seek a medical professional for your personal case. Now, as I was saying last week, physiotherapy and exercising go together, for me at least. So one cannot be effective without the other. So to explain better, I have broken down the forms of therapies and exercises I do. There are 7 of them. So number 1, manual therapy. Physiotherapy techniques are carried out in different ways for different people, all based on what your body can tolerate and, most importantly, what helps you. My physiotherapy sessions consist of manual therapy, which helps to release muscle tightness, pain, and helps improve mobility of that area. This is not just restricted to one part of my body, but any area can require help. And this method helps immensely with that. And I am missing it right now because I haven't been to physio, but I do find it amazing how the body works here. If I have an issue with my arms, that then a trigger point at the shoulder or the neck is pressed by my therapist, which reduces and releases the pressure or pain in my arm, and that feeling goes. So it's amazing how the body is connected, and if you go to a specialist and a specialist who understands that, it makes life a lot easier. It's this that makes me love manual therapy. The instant relief of those small things which can be sorted out. Number 2, taping. I spoke of taping right at the beginning of my list when in part 1, and I just wish to add here that this process is carried out by my physiotherapist at the end of each of my sessions. It helps the areas that have gone through that manual therapy, and there is a video for it which I will link in the description box. Number 3, aqua therapy. Quite simply, aqua therapy is exercising in water. So you stand in an enclosed cubicle that has a treadmill which fills up with warm water, or water based on temperature that works better for you. I prefer warm water, which relaxes the muscles and reduces the possibility of spasms. During the exercises carried out in this water-filled cubicle, I find my endurance improving, and so does my range of motion, joint stability, and most importantly, for anyone trying this out, you'd only feel 20% of your body weight. That way you're not adding your body load to your joints and are able to carry out your exercises for longer. The same movements outside the water would tire me out, cause me pain, and set me back a week at a time. So aqua therapy has been an important addition. Currently with COVID-19 issues, it's not safe to go for this therapy, but once it is, I know I will be back in that space looking to continue strengthening my muscles, and I promise to shoot some video footage just to show you exactly what I mean. Number 4, resistance training. So that's my band. So resistance training is done through the use of resistance bands. These bands are mainly used for strength training and stretching, but more specifically for me, I use these bands for like my upper body strength. And I should be starting lower body strengthening with these bands as well. So my physiotherapist worked out my problem areas, and I was given a specific exercise program to help improve muscle strength in those areas. We worked out particular exercises that did not aggravate my problem areas, and we review these exercises regularly to make sure I am on track. And very importantly, I feel when an expert teaches you about a form and positioning while using this band, you're giving yourself a better chance to improve your strength and a lesser chance of injuring yourself when you do these exercises at home. So this is yellow. It comes in various colors, all based on the varying resistance. So this isn't a high resistance strength band, but I can make it tighter based on how much give I give it. So if I loosen the grip, it's obviously easier. If I tighten it, I'm making it more resistant. But yeah, I should move up on the colors, shouldn't I? Now, number 5, Pilates and pelvic floor therapy. Now, my physiotherapist has set out further exercises to help strengthen my core muscles, which in turn help reduce the load on my back and legs. Now, these exercises are a mix of Pilates and pelvic floor therapy. Since I also have endometriosis, these exercises are extremely important in tackling that area of pain as well. I also follow Jeannie DeBond's Pilates videos. I only do what does not aggravate my legs, but most importantly, Jeannie has Hypermobile EDS herself and says this on her website, and I'm going to quote her. I have HEDS, and as a previous chronic pain sufferer, I understand what it's like to live with pain and be fearful of movement. Through study, research, and practical experience, I have created my own method, the integral movement method, to rehabilitate the body from pain, unquote. After reading this book of hers, which is like Hypermobility Without Tears, I began to believe in the possibility that my pain can reduce as well. So I'd recommend checking out her books and videos if you have EDS. So next is number 6, stretching. When you're hypermobile, you supposedly stretch easily and further than you should. But what also ends up happening is, in not wanting to overstretch and believing that we're always well stretched, we end up not stretching at all, and unnecessary tightness happens. And well, that's what happened to me. I'd find areas of my body becoming very tight and painful. My physio's manual therapy would help, but when I needed urgent help at home, I didn't know what to do. I felt that regular gentle stretching should be done every day, at least for my body. So I make sure that I am very aware when I stretch any area of my body. I need to be aware because I need to watch how far my range is going so that I do not overdo it by hyperextending, which is something my physio and even Jeannie DeBond gets you to focus on. This in general has been very helpful in reducing spasms, especially in my lower back. Now, number 7, walking. On days when I feel I can't do resistance training or Pilates or in fact any form of exercise, I put on some music and I walk at home. Whether it's 5 minutes or 10 minutes, I get some focused movement in. Music helps to make sure I don't look at the time and I get through those 5 to 10 minutes quite easily. Also, very importantly, I don't set a pace for myself. I move at the speed most comfortable for my body. The idea is to just move. But important point here. If there are days I can't do anything, then even that's okay. And another important thing, I walk with my walking sticks to ensure stability. On days when my legs are not taped, as I've spoken of briefly earlier in this video, and I spoke of in detail in part 1, I bandage my legs to help maintain compression and reduce pain while I'm carrying out my walking sessions. So before I end, another important tip. Everything's important. I found that by doing warm compressions with my hot water bag after any form of exercise or physio session, the possibility of the flare-up reduces. And even if I do have a flare-up, they don't last as long as they would if I didn't do those compressions. Oh, very importantly, one final important thing before you run off. Please do like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.